Welcome to the channel, and today I challenged myself to shoot only with the 50mm lens. I got my first composition here. I'm shooting this beautiful tree, and in the foreground of our picture we got this dead tree laying on the ground, and just behind that dead tree we have some beautiful purple heather, and then we got our beautiful tree, but I shot it a little bit earlier than now. Just at that moment when I was shooting that tree, we got some clouds in the sky. It was just a little bit before sunrise, so we got a little bit of a yellow glow on the tree, but the clouds were still a little bit blue. I hope that creates a beautiful contrast. I just found our second subject for this video, and it's this beautiful little tree here just behind the camera, and it got some brown leaves on it, and on the right side, on the top of this very little tree, is a spider web, and we still got some dew in that spider web. The sun is still a little bit behind the trees, so we got this beautiful glow on this little tree, and the sun is lighting up the dew on the leaves, and also the dew in the spider web. So that's super cool. I'm shooting this at f8, but because we are so close, like 4 or 5 meters, I guess, standing from this little tree, our background is a little bit blown out. So this little tree is really standing out from this beautiful landscape. And the other settings are ISO 100 and 13th of a second. Do you like this? Only just 2 photos into the challenge for shooting the 50mm lens, and I already have my 70-300 lens on my body. Because here in the back we have some beautiful new birch trees, and the sun is just shining onto the trees because of the white trunk. They're really standing out from the landscape. I really had to take this photo. I'm shooting those little birch trees at ISO 100 f8 at 15th of a second, and the sunlight is lighting up some heather just before those beautiful birch trees. And the birch trees also have a little bit of brown leaves, but also green leaves. It really looks like fall is coming, but it's just from the heat. Everything is super dry, so I guess the trees are also very thirsty with this weather. Right, gonna move on before the sunlight is too harsh. I'm gonna try to go back to the 50mm lens now. Alright, the challenge is back on. Back to the 50mm lens. And we got this beautiful, here, this beautiful shaped tree that is just lit by the sun. I'm shooting this in a vertical position, and in the foreground we got some beautiful purple heather that's lit up by the sun. In the back of our frame we have this beautiful shaped tree. I'm shooting this in focus stacking because I'm really far from the tree, and in our foreground, 2/3 of the foreground is this beautiful purple heather. And because I'm very close to the heather, I really have to focus on the closest part of the heather to me, a little bit further in the middle of the photo, and then focused on the tree. And those 3 images are going to combine in Photoshop to create a perfect, sharp photo. I shot this at f8, 80th of a second, at ISO 100. In the sky we got some, how do you call it, some trails from the planes. So that creates a little bit of an interesting element in the picture, just in the top part. when I'm going off trail a little bit to shoot those beautiful images, I always really look out where I step so I don't destroy the landscape, because there's not a lot of nature left anymore, in Belgium at least. So I don't want to ruin it for other people and also for myself, because we really have to treasure it, our beautiful landscape. We got this dead tree laying here around in the landscape, and the sun is still coming in from the side. And just above those branches of the dead tree, we got some beautiful fluffy clouds. They're just past. I already took the photo before the clouds were gone. And that beautiful tree, the dead tree, is surrounded by this beautiful purple heather. I took the photo in portrait mode because of the branches are sticking out of the landscape. But I just turned my camera in landscape mode, and it looks a little bit nicer because we have the trunk of the tree also coming into the frame, but we don't have clouds anymore. I'm gonna take it just for fun. I guess this composition would have worked a little bit more, but the sunlight is on those few minutes. It's already much harder than just before. I guess the portrait mode photo is a little bit nicer, a little bit softer. I'm gonna show them both. Let me know what you think. Is the landscape photo better than the vertical photo? The 50mm 1.8. It's also good for taking landscape photos apparently. If you have a 50mm lens, you can easily go take landscape photos, because this lens, it really creates perfect images. The only downside with this lens is if you want to zoom, you really have to walk with your lens, because it doesn't have a zoom. It has a focus ring and that's it. But the image quality of this lens is so good. If you were thinking to invest in a 50mm lens, it's a really good investment, because those lenses are a little bit cheaper than zoom lenses. And one last thing that I forgot to mention. You can go really close to your subject also when you're doing some intimate landscape photography. I'm shooting here a little piece of the purple heather. My settings are ISO 125, f4.5 and a shutter speed of 100. I bumped up my shutter speed a little bit because there was a little bit of wind blowing and I didn't want to get some movement in this picture. But we're focused on a really small part of the header. I'm shooting this at 4.5 and we already got a really nice bokeh effect. You can go up to 1.8, so this bokeh effect with this lens is superb. It's crazy. Just a quick little thing that I forgot to mention, that you can go really close to your subject if you want to. And we are at the end of the video. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. I want to see you next week, Thursday. I've got some cool videos planned for the coming weeks. Click the notification bell to be notified. Thank you for watching. Bye.